kind of sticking with that kind of that junior tennis space that you were in, like you talked about the age difference between you and then Serena, that 3 years, and then another few between and then even on Davina. So once they left the area and you were starting to come into your own as a successful junior tennis player, like I know California is its own section. Well, yeah, Southern California is its own
Yeah.
section.
Southern
Southern is,
Cal.
yeah, yeah.
Yep.
When did you start to realize, like, when did it start to kind of come together for you? Like, I assume it's the path of results are starting to come in, you're feeling good, get to about 13, 14, kind of like put me in that space of,
Now here, the interesting part, like I said, my dad was training some animals, okay, me and my brother. And all through our junior career, like in California, we were number one in every section. And I was always the youngest in my group.
okay.
So from tens, by the time I was 13, I was number one in the 18s in California. So like, hey, it's my dad's like, it's time to like, let's start playing open tournaments. Let's go to Europe went to Europe for 6 months when I was 13, just to
Oh, wow.
dabble and see, yeah. And let me say, I got my butt whipped, okay,
Yeah, but
while I
what
was
does
over
that
there.
look like though? Like that's a really cool experience.
It absolutely was a learning experience for me because it's a different ball. It's a different mindset. I was very strong. So even at 13, I'm like blowing these girls off the court.
Hmm.
You know, that tour ball is a whole nother ball. Um, these are adults. Like these are women that have experience. They're not quitting. They're constructing the points different. I actually have to think. A lot of the matches that I played when in junior in my section, I didn't have to think much.
Right.
Like, hey, I got a good serve. I work my forehand. Boom, I'm done. I didn't really like learn to start constructing my plays, and even using my weapon to the best of my ability until I was maybe about 15, 16. And again, that Europe trip really helped me to understand where I actually needed to improve. Like it was very humbling for me, like being out there and not winning any matches.
Mhm.
Like this is weird. And it was on a whole nother surface. Like I had no patience
Right.
as like an aggressive baseline, or like I'm looking to move forward, I'm looking to come in. Now I have to choose like wisely when to come in on clay. Hitting flat, that didn't do anything. I'm hitting like 20 balls a rally all of a sudden instead of like two balls. That was completely different for me. So like I said, it was very humbling. So I had to go back and like hit the reset button after that experience.
Okay. Okay. So what does that look like? And I'll let you slide in there, but like what does that look like when you come back, right? At 13 years old, you spent 6 months in were you in Spain or
So we went to like Budapest,
yeah.
spent a lot of time in Germany.
Okay.
Yeah, we spent most of our time in Germany
Okay.
over there. So no, didn't play in any Spanish places, but it was still red clay like
Yep.
everywhere.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So then you come back and what's that? What does Angie look like as she's done her time with the Germans?
Yeah. That was more mental for me than anything. So I had to one, like I said, I had to learn how to play tennis. I'm just gonna say that. Um Using my weapons to my advantage as a lefty. I had to really learn how to do that. Had to learn how to be more precise with my serve. Had to um learn, like I said, to construct points. So training had gotten a little bit different. Whereas I started a lot more technical. We had to, and I'm not a thinker. I'm just gonna say that as a tennis player, I'm a very reactive type of player. The more I think, the worse I'm gonna play. So we just did a lot of like started off with a lot of simple patterns where, hey, okay, I see it. Like, hey, 3-1, I got that. Hey, do this, go deep cross court heavy. I know what's coming next. So that's how we started like to train. And then, of course, I didn't have to think. And that stuff started really helping me to figure out, like, hey, how am I winning my matches now? What's working? What's not working? Where do I need to adjust? So now I can think without having to overthink.
Gotcha.
I coached a young player back in the day, real tall Nigerian guy named Jonathan Ibignobi. I don't know if you remember Jonathan
Ooh,
when you were
that's
here.
a big name.
But,
I know.
oh,
Yeah, I remember Jonathan.
big player.
Yeah.
I mean, 6'5", He's
Oh,
about 175 pounds soaking wet, but he was, when I tell you, Jonathan hit the absolute biggest, cleanest ball I have ever seen. He was an athlete from the word go. I mean, just if I were to come back as a tennis player, I would be Jonathan. I would want to be Jonathan, his avatar, and then put my,
right.
tennis IQ into Jonathan. It's funny you say what you were saying. Worked a lot with a guy named Brian Behaley back when he was coming through, and there was probably not a better tennis brain than Brian Behaley. Jonathan was the complete opposite end of the spectrum, like very reactive.
Hmm.
What was almost got worse if you coached him too much. You know what I mean? You almost had to let him play. But like you said, it's funny. We started doing shooter a lot. Cross court game, you'd be able to get online. And I started teaching Jonathan the two plays. I wanted him to be able to either stay cross, which was, to him a big, mind blowing thing, or wait for the right ball. And he started pointing his finger to me when he's playing matches. He goes, "Coach, I see it. I see it." And I used to laugh because I'm like, to me, that was pretty basic. But for him, and as clean as he was hitting it, a lot of people do a pattern, Angie, and we're trying to do it within 5 to 8 balls. And
Right.
the reason it takes 8 balls
Right.
for a guy like me, because 5 of my 8 are going to hopefully make it where I want them to go.
Right.
The other 3, I'm trying to make up for and hope I don't mess it up in the meantime. You, Jonathan, were hitting those targets each of the 5 balls. And so I'm now flipping my brain to think like he does. If I had hit a ball like that, I might be looking to come in down the line too, because I already tagged it as clear as it could be hit. And so it helped me really understand when you said that, it really helped me kind of bring it back. And so the nuances of countering weren't as often because you didn't really get countered. They were right in defense right away.